Okay. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm Jano Lieber. I'm president of MTA Construction and Development. We're here today to mark the grand reopening of the Turnstile Underground Market. Many of the small businesses in this corridor have reopened after closing in March due to the pandemic, and I want to acknowledge not just the businesses, but also our master lessee, master developer, Susan Fine, and her partner, Howard Glatzer. As the economy slowly and safely comes back, the MTA is making it a priority to revitalize these stores and set them up for success. We need our tenants to succeed for two reasons. One, obviously we have an obligation to maximize revenue from our retail so we can fulfill our transportation mission, but also these are really important amenities for riders in the system to make their use of the system more convenient and easier in every way. Because we're so committed to the success of our tenants, at this moment we are developing a plan, or a financial relief plan for our tenants that would have us move from a fixed rent system based on their leases to a percentage rent system so that our interests are aligned. If they succeed, we just get a percentage of their revenue. And we would put that in effect for the duration of the pandemic until ridership starts moving back to normal levels. We're doing this for the mom and pop shops that are the lifeblood of New York. Through no fault of their own, have been swept up in the pandemic, and it's turned into a struggle for survival for them, just like we are struggling for the MTA to survive. We want to be helpful as possible to those mom and pop tenants. The new approach that we're developing will not apply to national tenants like Starbucks or Apple, but it's going to apply to the vast majority of our retail tenants, including the newsstands throughout the system. As I said, there's no denying the importance of amenities such as the Turnstile Market for our riders. And in fact, this kind of activation of what used to be an empty subway passage is exactly an approach that we are trying to replicate throughout the system. We have RFPs going for the Port Authority bus terminal mezzanine at 8th Avenue and some of the other underused circulation areas. We love what Susan and her team have done with Turnstile. But the ultimate revival can't really take place until riders start returning to our system in numbers. On a typical weekday last year, this station had 240,000 riders. Now that number is lower, more like 75,000. Overall, system-wide ridership on the subways is about 30% of where it was normally this time of year, and the buses are only at about 50%. That reality, which is all related to the pandemic, nothing else, is what has caused the MTA to go into financial crisis, what my chairman, Pat Foy, has called a five-alarm fire or a financial tsunami. We are approaching the fiscal cliff. We have been losing $200 million a week for quite some time, and the money eventually runs out. That's why it is imperative that Washington, that the Congress deliver $12 billion to carry us through this fiscal year, this calendar year, and through 2021, so we can avoid the type of drastic cuts in service, layoffs of our workforce that would devastate New York. The controller of the state of New York, after looking at us in detail, said we are in danger of losing a system that we've had for so long that's so key to New York. We're in danger of losing it. It's going to be a different kind of MTA if we don't get that federal help. So we do need to keep progress going. Turnstile's reopening is symbolic of New York's comeback. I think that looking behind us, you don't need more evidence of the linkage between transit and jobs. You can see how these retailers depend on transit and why we need Washington to step up as they would for a hurricane or an emergency elsewhere in the country, a natural disaster. Otherwise, this is our hurricane and we need the help. So with that, I want to again congratulate Susan Fine, who is the leader of the Turnstile development team. And you'll also be hearing from small business owners after Susan speaks, and then we'll take some questions. Susan?
Good afternoon, and thank you for those kind remarks. Howard Glatzer and I are the master lessors of Turnstile. And Turnstile is a triangle that depends on 3 points. First, it's an example of government and the private sector working together. So my first thank you is to David Florio and to Jano and to lots of other people at the MTA who call us on weekends, and we call them, and we fix and we work and we try. And that's why I hope you find the micro businesses and all of the merchants at Turnstile exciting. The second prong of that triangle is our merchants, and I'd love to shout out to all of them. A lot of them are first gen, they're female-owned businesses, they're minority-owned businesses. We found them, we've nurtured them, they nurture us. If time permitted, and I hope you all do have the time, go eat ramen, dumplings, donuts, shawarma, buy a bottle of wine, get your hair cut, and chat with our merchants. Because that brings me to the third prong of the triangle, which is New Yorkers. For Midtown to come back and for New York to come back, we need all of us to commit to our city, to shop local, to buy local. Just as Jano Lieber said, I know tech is great. I'm glad there's thousands of feet moving into tech office building, but a backbone of New York City is a small business. They're vehicles for wealth creation, they're vehicles for gumption and to create jobs and to become middle class at a time when it's never been harder. So come back, welcome back, and please shop, eat, buy, and enjoy. You're going to hear from 3 of our merchants in particular. First, the maker of astounding, delicious macaroons, Pooja from Whoops.
Thank you. All right. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon. I just want to thank Susan, the entire team here at Turnstile, Morgan, Tanya, the entire staff, and especially the MTA, Amanda, for organizing this wonderful press conference and for kicking this off today. So thank you guys. My name is Pooja Dene, and I am one of the co-founders of Whoops. So we're right here, so you can take a look at us later. We are a gifting company. We specialize in French macaroons, and we've been in business since 2012. We started as a pop-up shop in Bryant Park. So it was me, myself, my husband, and a group of our friends. It started as a side hustle. It was an idea that we had. We are all minorities as well, and it was an idea, and that's how it started. We never could have imagined what would have happened next. 9 weeks later, after the Winter Village at Bryant Park, the 5 of us sat around a table and we were like, whoops, we have a business here. Like, this is a lot more than we had expected. So that's our backstory. That's who we are. We're a New York City born and raised company. That's who we are. We're proud to be from this amazing, beautiful, and resilient city. And we couldn't be prouder, especially today. Fast forward a few years, we organically grew our company through corporate stores and as well as franchising. Some of our key locations include the Port Authority Bus Terminal, the Bryant Park in the city, and as well as our amazing market here at Turnstile. So we opened here in 2017. We've been here for over 3 years. We were one of the first vendors, the first permanent vendors. And we immediately fell in love with this place, whether it's the energy, the vendors, the diverse people, and of course the management, right? Because it all falls back to the management. It's who's managing, who are the people here, and that's why we're really happy here. The Turnstile is like one big family. So I'm sure, most of you will be able to get to speak to Susan and Morgan and team later, and you'll get to understand what I'm talking about, right? It's one family here. All the vendors know each other. The management really cares, and that's really rare because that doesn't happen in 99% of the places that we're at. So that's just something really special to understand what the underground market is. Whether it's the organization or the aesthetics, the management is so keen on like the details here. Morgan and Susan, and we've been here for over 3 years, so we understand what it's been like. The market has been shut for over 6 months due to COVID-19, right? And that's impacted our business as well as all the other small business owners in the market, as well as everyone in retail. It's been really tough. As a small business owner, it's been extremely difficult to continue during these times and to fight not only for ourselves, for our staff and our team. I can speak for myself, my company, and many other small business owners that have put their hard work and sweat, energy, time, and commitment into their businesses. These are our babies. Like, we started this from ground up. Like, we're here day to day, whether it's talking to our staff or being behind the counter or engaging with our customers. I just want to say that I'm proud to be back. My team is happy to be back here. Just to see my staff working again and to see the friendly faces of all of our fellow New Yorkers and the staff here, and to serve our customers at the end of the day, right? We miss them. So our goal is to provide a sense of normalcy during these not so normal times, and just to provide a moment of sweetness. So if we can do that, we've achieved. And I urge you all to come here to the Turnstile, tell your friends to come shop here, support your local businesses, because it really matters, especially right now. This is the time for New York to come together and to be there for your fellow businesses and your fellow friends. So thank you all again. I hope to see you soon. And thank you to the Turnstile and MTA for putting this wonderful event together. Just like to introduce Alex from Easy Paella. He's another small business owner here. He's going to speak next. Thank you.
And he was brave enough and believed in us enough to open about a month ago, brand new business.
Thank you, Susan. Good afternoon. My name is Alex Del Gallego. My wife, Lorena Del Gallego. We come from Venezuela. We are the owners of Easy Paella. It's the only paella express in New York. We're very excited to open finally. We were scheduled to open back in March 15th. The day we opened, the city was announced to close. So it was moments of frustration and moments of confusion. Very difficult time for all of us. But during the pandemic, we were honored to donate, serve, cook over 150 meals to the first responders, local hospitals, and all the people around helping the community. We did it as a way to say thank you for all the help, dedication, and risking their life for us. We're now open to do what we love, which is cook the best paella in the city. I urge you to come here, try the paellas, they're great. It's the greatest flavors of Spain with a Venezuelan touch right here in New York. So thanks to the Turnstile team, Susan, Morgan, and the team for all the help, support, and encouragement. It was very difficult to stay here during those bad 6 months, and it was difficult to open a month ago with nobody walking around, but the response was amazing, and thank you for that. What makes a city great is not the buildings or bridges or parks, it's the people. Thanks, New York, for the support. Together, we will bring our city back, stronger and better than ever. A few words in Spanish. Gracias a la gente bella de Nueva York. Juntos traeremos de vuelta la ciudad que tanto amamos. Grano a grano, poquito a poquito, paso a paso, volveremos a ser la ciudad que somos y seremos mejor para siempre. Vengan, disfruten la paella. Está cocinada con mucho amor y mucha dedicación para todos ustedes. Thank you, and I will leave you with Evan for Dunnery.
Thank you very much for being here. Thank you so much to Turnstile, to Susan, especially to Morgan, who's my main man over there. And I mean, I'm texting Morgan every weekend, every night, and every day. We need this, we need that, and he gets it done. So thank you. Thank you to the MTA for hosting this and for being supportive during this time. My name is Evan Feldman. I am the founder and chief donut of Donuttery, which is a hot, fresh mini donut business that started in 2012. I started it myself. My brother now works with me. My wife now works with me. We started 8 years ago at the Chelsea Market, which many of you know is an iconic food hall. We only really wanted to work. We're a mini donut business. It's an impulse buy. It's not a meal. It's a dessert. It's a gifting item. We wanted to be in places that were iconic, like the Chelsea Market. Turnstile is our second location. We opened here 5 years ago, and we chose Turnstile very selectively because of its proximity to iconic places like Central Park. This is a gateway to Central Park. This is a gateway to the Upper West Side. This is a gateway to Midtown Manhattan. And we felt so strongly we wanted to be here. I think I looked up Susan's home address and sent her donuts to convince her to let us come here and to open our second shop. And I'm so glad she allowed us that honor, because we're here. We've been here for 5 years, and our business during that 5 years has grown. We're now also franchising. We now have other stores down the street at the Plaza Hotel is a third store we have in New York City. We do the holiday markets. We do catering. Yes, the last 6 months we've been through hell and back, like every other vendor that's been down here. It's been a challenge. We stayed open for as long as we could. We started sending meals for free to the hospitals in the vicinity because we just didn't want to turn our donut machines off. And when it became apparent that we had to, we did reluctantly. So today we're back here as a rebirth and as a reopening of our business and of the Turnstile Market. I know that the reason we came here, because of the unique location and the unique mix of tourists, of locals, of commuters, of students, is you can't find that anywhere else. What's it going to take to get back? It's going to take people riding the subway. It's one thing, and it's an insurmountable task to convince people to come back to their offices and work. I get it, and we have our work cut out for us. But it's a whole other thing to convince them to take the subway to get to their work. They may be coming back to work, but they need to take the subway, and we rely on that. And we believe this, with the work that the MTA is doing, it's never been safer, it's never been cleaner, and it's never been less crowded to take the subway to work. So we hope people will come back. We hope the footsteps will come through here, and we rely on that. We also are doing things differently. We're delivering more. We're doing curbside pickup. If you don't want to come down here, we'll bring your donuts upstairs to you. Just give us a call. We're focusing a lot on franchising, getting out of into different neighborhoods in different cities. We're offering a do-it-yourself donut kit, so that if you want to order donuts, you want them hot and fresh, you can make them yourself in your house. We'll send you the kit. So however you want to do donuts, we're here for you. And that just sort of echoes what every other vendor is doing down here. They're reinventing themselves, they're making themselves more relevant, and they're doing it safely. We're working and training our staff, retraining them to do things in a different way, wearing masks, wearing gloves, being as safe as possible. I'm asking you, the press, to help us spread the message, spread the word. The media, the press, the publications need to help us. The MTA is helping us greatly. That article that came out yesterday about the new structure you're offering at Grand Central, I welcome that conversation, because we want to be partners with you. We want to work on percentage rents. If we make money, you make money. We can all be successful together. So those are just a few of the things that I'm going through and that we're going through together. And we appreciate everything that's being done for us, the generosity of our landlords, of the MTA, of the community that's come back to say, hey, I'm glad to see you're open. I'm glad to see you're back. I'm going to order your donuts or your macaroons or your paella. And we just need those people to help and to make a commitment to us and to continue to patronize down here and to continue to think of us. Even if you're not coming down here, pick up the phone and order and give us a call and we'll deliver. And with that, I just want to say thank you again to Susan, to Morgan, to the MTA, to everyone, and my fellow vendors who've been so supportive. We've really gotten to know each other during this time, and we've supported each other, and we've helped each other out. So thank you to everyone who's down here, who's toiling away. And if anyone wants to try some donuts, please come on down. We can chat some more. Thank you very much.
Okay, so Q&A. If you just identify yourself, and we do have a mic.
Lauren Glassberg, Channel 7 News.
Hi.
Jano, could you speak to whether you're doing percentage rents at Grand Central as well? I know a lot of those are chain locations.
Yeah.
So how does that impact?
So I think in general, the approach we're developing is going to apply to all of our retail tenants because we don't want to discriminate. And in fairness, depending on how long, we don't want to have long negotiations. It's not fair to everybody to create some specialized system. So we're going to have one system. It's going to apply to New York retail tenants. It will not apply to those national brand tenants, like the couple in Grand Central, Starbucks and Apple being the most prominent, the banks who rent cash machines also in that category. But all of the New York-based mom and pop tenants will be subject to this new approach.
And then the follow-up to that is, are you then expecting your master lessor to pay in full, or does she get a reduced rent? How does that work?
Again, it's going to be uniform, and just so you understand, they've already begun to abate rents here. So, the development team here has already stepped up and made arrangements with these individual tenants, to help them survive, and we're just trying to be supportive of that entire effort.
Hi, my name is Mario Vivas. I'm going to be opening a store, empanada store, at the end of the hallway. Would you like an empanada?
Empanadas forever, that's my response. Empanadas para todos.
Anybody else?
Anybody else?
Anybody from the
Okay.
press? Anybody?
All right. Be sure to spend and eat on your way out.